using watercolor. It's just terrific. Okay, so one of the things that I really, and these are brand new ones, you should have seen the ones I had all covered with paint and everything. But these are just little viewfinders that are really, really helpful. You can make them out of mat board or whatever, you know, so that they last for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I use them is because it helps me to isolate colors. And otherwise, it can be really confusing when you're looking at the big picture. And especially for something like this, which I have started, I have a lot of different tones and colors, and all of that's going to come into play in this painting. So once I start painting, if I pause a little bit, it's because you have to be, you know, it's the other half of your brain that, you know, is the real vocal one. And sometimes you have to move over to the other side to be able to paint. Anyway, so I'm also, for this painting, I'm using arches, and I've had this book for a long time, and it has all the different kinds of paper that Arches makes, or probably any watercolor company. So they have 90 pound, then 140 pound, and this is 300 pound. And in this case, I'm using rough paper. So where's the rough? And that might seem kind of odd to be using rough paper for something that's really detailed like this, but it actually really works. Where you want to get more texture in your painting.
Karen, do you usually use rough paper?
No, I usually use cold press.
Okay.
This is cold press.
That's cold press, okay.
But for this, it seemed ideal to use the rough paper. So it has that nice pebbly surface, and I think I'm going to jump in now. No, I didn't, because this is a little bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about that as I work. And in areas like, why don't I jump way over here? If I'm going to do an area like that, and since I am standing, I'm going to go ahead and put this on, just so I don't get a backache later.
Right.
It's a good idea. So I can start thinking about the color that is right in here. And I'm going to, okay, so there's all different ways, if you're going to pre-wet something, that's a good thing too. Like in this case, I'm going to wet this, but then I'm going to let it dry mostly before I do anything.
And what's the advantage of wetting it first and then just so that you get the right amount of moisture?
Yeah, I'm always looking for the right shade. I am a glazer. Everybody know what glazes are? You know, it's that overlay. But if I can get it, you know, closer the first time, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to mix up. So this is Quin magenta. This is the red, that beautiful Quin red that you were talking to me about.
Mm-hmm.
Just a fantastic color. But I'm also going to add just a touch of my purple. this. Okay, so, hi. So I got my master's at the University of Maryland in College Park. And it was in color lithography. But that's not where I had started grad school. I started as a stone sculptor, believe it or not. And I got into a stone lithography course, color lithography. And I had my orals, and I had my sculpture, a sculpture that was, you know, almost finished. And then I had all these prints that I had done. And I had 4 professors there, and they were all sitting there, and for a while they didn't say anything. And they said, "Why are you a sculptor? You're a colorist." And I was like, "What?" So that was a real surprise in a way, but then I got out of grad school and I discovered watercolor, and I fell in love both with him and watercolor. So now this is a little bit different color because I've mixed more of the Quinn red in on this side because I see that in the photo. And I really don't worry too much about the first pass because I'm going to be able to go into this again. So that I can really get the color to be exactly as I want it to be. And you can see how much the paper's dried.
And it doesn't warp so much.
No, that's the beauty of 300 pound.
Wow.
It is great. So that's why all my big paintings are on 300 pound. Anything this size up is going to be a 300 pound painting.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called 300 pounds?
Well, did you ask that, Cynthia?
Yes.
Okay, so 300 pound paper is 300 pounds in a ream.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why
Or 140 pound, which is what
we use.
we use
And
a
Yeah,
lot.
ream,
40.
and a ream would then be how many sheets?
I
I
don't
think
know.
100.
100
It was
sheets.
500.
You mean it
500?
weighs 100?
500.
500
500.
sheets.
A ream is 500?
300 pounds?
I don't even know.
You need a forklift.
Yeah, you need a forklift. Yeah, nobody's going to be able to do that on their own.
That was a good question, I didn't
I
know
never
that.
realized why we call
I
it,
just knew
because you
one.
pick up the paper, you know it doesn't weigh 140 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God.
And you paint on this, what is this?
Gatorboard?
Oh, yeah, this is, you can get these at Home Depot. It is called corrugated something. Corrugated cardboard or whatever.
Plastic.
So, yeah. When,
Is that there in a art department or something? No.
just Home Depot, you can get these huge sheets.
Yeah, it's
and-
where they have signs and stuff,
Oh,
or
for
your glass
signs, right.
and
Oh,
people use them
So-
for, you know, like putting up real estate signs and
Huh, okay.
protests.
I'm getting all these tips.
Well,
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for doing this and having us here.
And like getting us to come to Annapolis too.
Oh, what a treat. And I'm so sorry I'm late.
Oh, well, we're not into it that much. I mean, that long, so.
Did you see that, did you see
I've
her,
seen her.
is the cover?
Mhm.
So this is another favorite color of mine.
Yeah.
Carlos, my partner.
Windsor Newton
Linda,
calls
my
it
art
brown
part-
matter
my
deep.
art
Is this
partner.
a
What's it
Stan
called?
Or
Smith?
brown matter,
Really?
maybe it's just brown matter.
Only
Brown
in
matter?
humor, not
And,
color.
but I know it as, Avignon orange,
Pretty
which is
good.
a much
You're
prettier
pretty good.
name,
Right.
but,
Is it Daniel Smith? I missed the beginning of that.
my Mary Blue.
I'm sorry, what?
My Mary Blue,
Oh, okay.
I have a real thing for my Mary Blue colors.
I'm so
Uh, We were in Italy in 2018 for a conference that Kent had, my husband here.
No, no, for March.
Um,
I'm gonna work for now.
and I said to Kent, can we
Why
go
not? It's the best.
to Milan at the end and go to the, my Mary Blue factory?
They have a factory in Milan.
Oh my goodness, it was a high point, I think, of our trip.
Yeah.
The CEO of the company took an hour, 2 hours, I think, first walking us through the gallery that they have in the factory, and then showing me how they made the paint. Oh,
Wow.
it was fantastic.
We don't see everything.
Okay, so if you look at the photo, you'll see that this color in the center is different than the color that's surrounding it. I wish I had this bowl here today, but I just wasn't gonna
It's a
bring it.
beautiful
If I-
photo, though. You did a
Here, but you got these.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to bring those out, thanks. Yeah, I gotta have my, my still life. But see, I can take my brush, dry it down, these are handy wipes, best invention.
Oh, Yeah, I
Because you
used to
can,
do that.
you know, keep reusing them. But I can get in here with my then thirsty brush, and I can lift parts, as you can see. So then you get more texture.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. And you know, it's really neat that Linda and Ronnie came up here, because otherwise I don't get to see them.
I know.
Except
I mean,
in,
obviously,
I like,
you know,
on Zoom, right?
Zoom.
he sees us in a square and with no makeup on, in pajamas.
But she sees nose down, so.
Oh, right, you never know.
So I like
Okay.
the brush too. That looks like a,
So I want to have time, though, to get to my, main story. So I might as well start with one of these. I love these. I mean, not just to eat, but they're very uncomplaining in their uses, props. So.
Why did you get the call to bring them?
Karen, may I ask a question? I see you have your whites masked out. What kind of mask do you like to use?
I don't like any of them, to be
Okay.
honest.
That's
That's
how I feel,
honest.
so I wondered
I
what you wanted to
hate
do.
masking fluid. I almost did not use it because I often paint around areas, or find another way to, but I decided to do it today because it would be easier. And I can just then, jump in and paint. I have 2 buckets of water here, so I'm not gonna use dirty water, but I'm gonna go ahead and start on this. And this is New Gamboge. And I have it right here. And I want a little bit more color.
Oh, yeah, Ronnie, yeah, that's, I wanna see. Yeah, I wanna see the difference in paper. I need to use the same paper.
And I'm going to slowly work into this. Now, this is a transparent orange.
So what does transparent mean? I mean, you can see through it?
I wanna keep,
Doesn't-
this- I'm gonna actually show you. As far as, or actually, I think they call it translucent orange, and as far as I know, this is the only company that makes this particular orange.
Really?
That's why I have the smattering from all the
Different
companies.
ones.
This is another Schminke, it's translucent orange. Fantastic color, and I find I use it a fair amount.
So you're using the 300-pound cold press?
No, this is rough,
Oh, rough, okay.
this is rough.